Come on, red light? Really?
Came through tripping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me.
Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a channel update. Kind of let you guys know what's going on, because man, oh man, has there been a lot of changes. But first, we need gas. Come on. Yeah, look at that thing. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, lots of changes. And number one, you see I'm on a little orange Grom. And if you watch any of the videos, you'll see the last Grom I had was blue. So yeah, the last video that we did, I had, you know, if we're looking at the stable, I had a 2017 Honda Grom. I had a 2017 Yamaha Super Tenere and a 2014 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and I have currently none of those, so everything's changed. Let's start with the first to go was the 2017 Grom. The guy that had it right before me didn't have it very long, so kind of the same for me. I didn't have it very long, but the original owner that put, you know, the 6,000 miles on it, there's a lot of little weird stuff that he did to the bike, and kind of, you know, things that were done, you know, let's just say it wasn't professional. You know, it wasn't done the right way. So I got rid of that thing. So I put it up for sale. I actually sold it really quick. It sold within about, I think maybe like a week and a half I had it up. And my God, all the messages that you field when you sell something like that, I mean, they're still, you know, people really want them. But oh my God, oh, will you take 1,500 bucks? Like, no, dude, I'm not taking 1,500 bucks. Get out of here. The next thing to go was the Yamaha Super Tenere. And I really did love that bike, man. It was a great bike. Everything about it. It was, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. It was just a wonderful bike. But the reason I got rid of that, so I wasn't actively trying to sell it. You know, you always think about, you know, when you're into motorcycles, you think about getting different bikes and upgrading and changing things out all the time. But anytime I'd really think about it, I was just like, man, I just love this bike. Like, there wasn't anything different I wanted. You know what I mean? I loved it. Just as a feeler, like maybe a year or so ago, I had posted it in a Facebook group, a Yamaha Super Tenere Facebook group, you know, just kind of throwing it out there of like, hey, you know, what do you think this thing would be worth if I were to try to sell it? I just thought that was kind of the end of it, you know, just kind of a feeler kind of thing, you know. So fast forward, like I said, almost a year, and I randomly, this is kind of funny because it's about the time when I was going through one of those phases of like, oh, you know, I kind of want something different, you know, getting like not tired of it, but just ready for something different maybe. Randomly get a Facebook message from a guy. It's like, hey, do you still have the Tenere for sale? And I'm like, maybe. So we got to talking. You know, he was really interested in it, and I'm like, well, you know, here's the price. I'm not really willing to negotiate at all. I think the price was actually really fair. Yeah, but yeah, we got to talking. We met up. He saw the bike, rode it, and boom, cash in the hand, and there she went. And I decided, and here's where we're getting to the lisp. If you can tell, I have a little bit of a lisp. I took the money that I made on selling the Tenere, and your boy got braces. I lived my whole life with some crooked ass teeth, and I got to a point where I was just really tired of it, man. Like, it's you know, one of those things you live with. You know, when you smile, if you got crooked teeth, you know, like you smile, you know, you don't want to show your teeth. Like, dude, it's embarrassing, bottom line. You know, and people say like, oh, you got to be comfortable in your skin and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, you can be. And, you know, I learned to live with it for a long time. I didn't necessarily, I don't know if I want to say I didn't care, because obviously I got braces, so I did care a little bit. But yeah, it was just one of those things that, you know, I kind of finally was like, you know what, I'm going to do this for myself. So I took the money from selling the Tenere and went and got braces. And I bought another Grom, and then that leads us to this. So this is a 2019 Honda Grom. I actually bought it used from a guy. It had 350 or 360 miles. I got a really good deal. It was completely bone stock, with the exception of Yosh exhaust. It's got the little like loop-de-loop exhaust on it, and that's one of the most expensive accessories. So I was like, that's kind of what I was looking for, like a unmolested Grom that was relatively new. And I found it, and the price was fair, and I hit the dude up, and I was like, hey, I want it, I'm gonna come and get it. And I did. I went and bought it. Another super nice guy, easy to deal with. I mean, I've been pretty lucky with that. Now I got another Grom. And that leads us to the biggest thing, the Jeep, man. My my beloved Jeep that I completely customized and did a whole bunch of stuff too. I never really did a walk around on that thing just because there's a million bajillion Jeep walk around videos, and I don't know, I just thought it'd be cheesy to do another one with the Jeep. And kind of the reason why I do not have it anymore, since I've been into camping and kind of overlanding, you know, we went out one trip with the family and I wasn't able to take any of my video equipment just because we were so jam-packed for space, you know, with me, my wife, daughter, and a dog, and all of our stuff, and the rooftop tent, and, you know, just everything we need to get lost for a week. I just flat out did not have room to bring everything. And I'd been thinking about getting a truck for well over a year, you know, just because I was tired of the Jeep. It was a 6-speed, I was tired of shifting gears, and I was just ready for, that was another thing, I was just ready for a change. I was tired of it. And it was only a 2014 with like 45,000 miles, so, I mean, we didn't put a ton of miles on it. The funny thing is, I got a letter in the mail that the Jeep had a recall, and it was for the passenger airbag, and I'm like, well, I'm off on Fridays, I'll schedule it for a Friday, you know, and while I'm there, you know, my wife works, so I'm like, I'm really not going to have, I don't have anybody to pick me up, I don't want to inconvenience anybody else, so I'm like, you know what, let's test drive some stuff. So I made the appointment for the recall, and right after I did that, I called the salesperson that we actually bought the Jeep from originally, and I was like, hey, bring the Jeep in for a recall, kind of kicking around the idea of maybe getting a new vehicle, a couple things I want to drive. You know, I told him I wanted to drive a new JL Wrangler, I wanted to drive a new Gladiator, and I wanted to drive a Ram Rebel. He was like, yeah, come on down, I'll have them all ready for you. I walked in, I mean, this process couldn't have been any easier. I walked in, he threw me the 3 sets of keys, was like, they're parked right here, 1, 2, 3, take them for a ride, let me know what you think. Like, didn't bother me, he didn't go along for the ride, so I was able to actually kind of go out and spend a lot of time in them, you know, and see what I liked, see what I didn't like. And honestly, after I drove the JL, it didn't, I don't know, man, like, there was more bells and whistles, and it was nice, don't get me wrong, it was very nice, but I'm like, I didn't really see the point of trading in the JK. Like, I don't know, I just didn't. I'm like, man, I really don't think I'd want to start over, you know, building up another Jeep when mine's like pretty much done with the exception of doing axles. But yeah, I'm like, it didn't seem worth it. So yeah, that kind of ruled out the JL for me. And the next up was the Gladiator. I drove the Gladiator, and the first thing that came to my mind was, you know, as soon as I pulled out of the parking lot, got on the gas, hit the first set of railroad tracks, I'm like, yep, it's a Jeep. I don't know, man, if you're tired, you know, if you got a Jeep and you're tired of the ride and you want something that's a little more plush and comfortable, Gladiator's not going to give it to you. You know, I know people say, oh, longer wheelbase, it's better. It's, you know, better ride. I don't know, man, it wasn't more gooder for me. I really wanted one, but then after driving it, I'm like, I don't think so. And that leads us to, lo and behold, what I ended up with, 2019 Ram Rebel. I drove that and was like, yep, this is it. I love how it looks, the power, all the, you know, the ride, the features, like everything it had in it, like, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. My wife was, she was super sad to get rid of the Jeep though, man. Like, she loved it. Hopefully she'll be happy with it eventually. I don't know though, she loved the Jeep. But anyway, that's kind of in a nutshell everything that's changed right now, man. And I really haven't been making any videos or anything like that just because I've just been busy, man. Like, life, man. Am I right? You know, if you're interested in anything, or if I didn't cover any of I think I covered everything pretty good, but any questions, man, hit me up in the comments. I reply to everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Later.